Hello, everyone. Welcome back to EPSy 255, Chapter 14. And in this section, we're going to talk about multiple developmental trajectories. And multiple developmental trajectories are important because there are different ways or avenues that your life can go. For example, you may get married young or not get married at all. You may have children or never have children. And for the children, for their trajectories, they may have siblings, they may not have siblings, they may go to college, or they may go to a trade school, or they just may work right after high school. All of these are examples of developmental trajectories. It's important to note that when we are talking about adults and children, that adult and children have different developmental trajectories. Adults follow certain types of trajectories, and children and adolescents follow another. The timing of developmental trajectories is also important because it's important to understand that developmental trajectories can include trajectories that are planned or unplanned. And so you have to really understand that trajectories can happen at any point in time. I don't know if you all are really interested in Marvel. I know I am. So thinking about trajectories, you can kind of think of trajectories similar to timelines, various timelines, or multiple universes in the Marvel world. It's just whatever choices you make, or even if things that happen in your life that are not planned, those impact the rest of your life. One developmental trajectory of adults deals with having children, specifically for women being pregnant, and having a biological birth. Although the adolescent pregnancy rate has decreased dramatically in recent years in the United States, the U.S. adolescent pregnancy rate is still very high. In fact, it is one of the highest in the developed world. At the same time, women, as you know, women, not adolescents, but when adolescents turn into women, women are actually increasingly postponing childbearing. And there are pros and cons to having children in your 20s. And there are also pros and cons to having children in your 30s. So what we're first going to talk about as far as women and having children is we're going to talk about the pros and cons, or the pros of having children in your 20s. The advantages include that of having children early in your 20s. An example would be that parents are more likely to have more physical energy. The mother may have less or fewer medical problems because the body has a better ability, may have a better ability to bounce back after having children if you have children in your 20s. And there are also advantages to having children in your 30s. For example, people that have children in their 30s usually have more time to mature, and they're also able to really benefit from the experience of having a child. And usually, compared to your 20s, women in their 30s can have established careers and have more income to be able to take care of the child. That's something that is important. Not to say that people in their 20s are not successful, but overall, usually women in their 30s are more established and they have more income compared to being in your 20s. All of these trajectories, developmental trajectories, are influenced by the sociocultural and historical changes. And according to Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, these sociocultural and historical changes that we endure during this lifetime will be a part of the chronos system. And so there are various things that are a part of the socioculture and historical changes. There has been quite a few wars. We had the civil rights movement. We've also seemed to have a more acceptance of the LGBTQIA plus community, and we've also had marriage legalization of the LGBTQ community, which has been impactful. But there are also subtle changes, including the internet, and of course, social media is a huge subtle change, but it's a subtle change, but it has huge repercussions on our mental health and just how we communicate with each other. Adults are also having more time on Earth. They are living longer. And television also plays a huge role, of course, the media. And there seems to be a movement to either urban or suburban areas. And this movement to these types of areas also changes how we view life and how we understand how that influences the trajectories that we may go upon. Something else that is important that is a subtle change is that, as the years go by, divorce has also increased. And so that means that there may be more single moms or single fathers, or there may be more blended families. So these are all subtle changes, but they are important to understanding and how they are important and how they influence the trajectories of life. Okay, in the next video, we are going to chat about parenting. I'll see you all in the next video.